Hello and welcome to Coach's Corner Boys Volleyball Edition. Today we're joined by head volleyball coach, Coach Yamasaki. I'm Bill Coleman with Spencer Barber for HWTV. Thank you very much for joining us, Coach.
Bill, Spencer, thank you.
So, Coach, you guys began your season with a tournament down at Redondo Union. What did you see in those games that needed to be improved upon in practice for the upcoming season?
Great question, Spencer. So the first thing is so much of our focus is on our side of the net, and certainly it is definitely on the fundamental side of things, making sure that we are executing not only our game plays, but making sure that our technique is on point. So that was one of the things that stood out to me. And then also just getting a sense of who we are, because there were a lot of moving pieces going into this season in terms of players playing in new positions, reimagining what our offense would look like. So yes, refining that point.
So, Coach, could you just quickly take us through a little bit about your background as a coach in the sport and, your time here at Harvard-Westlake?
Sure thing. I'll probably age myself tremendously by doing so, but I started coaching actually in 1988, which was the year I had graduated high school. And a coach at that point, who then turned out to be my mentor, saw a coach in me before I saw it in myself. So it started from there, started coaching club volleyball for a few years, and then I went away from it. In my early 20s, I became a professional photographer. I still am a professional photographer, and so that has carried me throughout the years. But in 2009, a high school friend who was coaching here, Coach Sherry Sakamoto, was coaching under Adam Black, and she needed an assistant coach at that point. I joined the staff. I was here from 2009 to 2013. And that reinvigorated my love of coaching, and it took on a new meaning at that point. So from that point on, from 13 through 16, I was coaching at LMU. I was the head men's club volleyball coach. From there, I also had a stint at Occidental College, joining their staff on the women's program side, and then I went to CSUN and was on the women's beach volleyball program side for 4 years.
So, Coach, looking at the roster, there are a lot of sophomores on the team.
Oh, yeah.
How does that make you feel about the preservation of skill of the team in the years to come?
Another great question. I am incredibly excited about the youth movement that we have going on within our program. That sophomore group, they come with a lot of energy, a lot of verve. Alex Rowe kind of leads that charge, being a football guy, bringing in that kind of energy, and it's very exciting for me, and it leads me to believe that we have a very bright future in front of us.
That's awesome. Really looking forward to that, for years to come. So, Coach, how would you describe your coaching style?
Well, my leadership style, I would say, is collaborative. I really view the boys volleyball program as a family, and I believe that the guys all feel that, and so it is a collaborative process in that we're constantly bouncing off information off of each other, what is helpful, what is not, what can we improve upon, both within the coaching staff and as players. We're all holding ourselves accountable. But our program philosophy is to do everything in our power to position ourselves for success and allow outcomes to evolve on their own. So it is about process over outcome. So I hope that answers your question.
Definitely.
Coach, the season started off hot with back-to-back wins against Windward and Maranatha. How have you kept the team focused on keeping up the hard work after this great start?
Well, part of our culture and philosophy is what we've introduced in the training season this fall was the idea of mindfulness, and about staying in the moment, about allowing even distractions to be present, but still remaining focused and remaining centered on the task at hand. So whether that is a single play, a single match, or a season, it is about keeping ourselves centered and focused.
So, Coach, we talked a little about the amazing sophomores you guys have on the team, and I know that that's such a core group, but are there any older leaders that have really stepped up to help that younger group kind of develop as players?
Absolutely. The first person that comes to mind is Victor Lowe, who is sitting on the other side of this door. Just a fantastic leader, naturally competitive, and again, it helps that he's 6'6", can block a lot of balls for us. The other one is Wilson Fetterman, who we have asked to play a new position. He was a libero last year, which is a back row position, and he has stepped up to be one of our strongest outside hitters or pin hitters in general. And again, he is an incredibly competitive individual, so that helps drive the team as well. And in addition, a name that comes to mind is Sam Volek. He has, in the same vein as Alex Rowe, there's a great energy and vocality to his game, and so that helps us out tremendously in terms of just establishing a presence when we take the court.
So, Coach, you recently had a game against Loyola. Sorry. What were some of the takeaways from that game, and how do you plan to keep the morale high after that loss?
Great question again. So our plan going into Loyola, we obviously knew that they are always a strong program, and the idea was incredibly simple: was to stay together, fight, and take care of the first contact or passing. And we did not quite hit our mark in terms of that first contact. I did feel like there was some good fight in us, and I did get a sense that we stayed together for the most part. But that will be our message moving forward. In my mind, and we had mentioned at the top of this, that a lot of our focus is on our side of the net, and we feel that we can compete with anyone in our league if we take care of those three pieces.
So, Coach, there's obviously two sides for every sport, the mental and the physical side. So how do you guys prepare mentally in practice and before games?
Well, once again, in line with our program philosophy of doing everything in our power to position ourselves for success, the considerations are how do we eat, how do we rehydrate, how do we train skill-wise and building our conditioning levels up. How do we recover? How do we rest? Utilizing sports medicine. We have some of the best sports medicine within our athletics in all of the state. So taking advantage of that piece. We have sports psychology that we should be taking advantage of. So all of those pieces, we really try and take a holistic approach that encompasses everything and not just focusing on just the volleyball side or just the working out side, and staying in tune with our mental health. I had mentioned the mindfulness piece of this, and being present. So we do meditation / visualization that helps prepare us for competition and just staying balanced in the world of Harvard Westlake.
Thanks so much, Coach, for joining us. That's all for this episode of Coach's Corner, Boys Volleyball Edition. I'm Spencer Barber, here with Bill Coleman for HWTV, and we'll catch you next time. Go Wolverines!